Here it is, everybody, the tutorial that I know you've been waiting for. This is the little gift box that I sent to Shar, and then when Shar posted her video, everybody kept asking for a tutorial. So this is the tutorial, and it is for this amazing box. Ready? Sorry, if I could just get it open. Look at that. Ready? Open it up. I included a card. Wait till you see what's included in this tutorial. This is a card. You write your own sentiment, and this would hold the Wet n Wild nail polishes. Woo! 4 of them. So keep watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I'm gonna begin with the template that I created to make this box. Okay, it's almost like what do they call these boxes? Shadow boxes, right? That's what it's like. And then you'll be able to put your nail polishes in them. It's almost like a 3-dimensional box. So I came up with this template, and actually Shannon created it on the Adobe, I guess it's called. Now, when you want to create this box, what we have to do is this. We have to figure out, see, this is my original box. You have to lay out your product. I'm going to do 4. And these are the Wet n Wild nail polishes. And I want about 1/8 of an inch between them, because I'm going to put little dividers in. These measure 5. So I'm going to want this to be 5 and they do measure 5, 1/2 inch together. They measure 5. I'm going to do 5 1/4. I'm going to do 5 1/4, and these are just under 3. So I think I'm going to do 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. And now our depth. These are probably about 3/4 inch high. So I'm going to make my box 1 inch by 1 inch high. And this is how we're going to do this. This is where the template comes in. So off the bat, we know we want our box to be 5 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 1. Okay? So this is how I mark it. I'll zoom these in just a tad. To create this 3-dimensional box, I have to automatically add 1 inch to this and 1 inch to this. So I need this to now become 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now, for our box to work, we add 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch. And we do that on all 4 sides. 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1/2 inch. 1, 1/2, 1, 1/2. 1, 1/2, 1, 1/2. And this is where you have to do math, which please don't get scared at. So 1 and 1 is 2, and another 1/2 is 2 1/2, and then another 1/2 is 3. So we now know that this is going to be 3 inches, and this is going to be 3 inches. So to that 6 1/4, we have to add another 6 inches. So now that becomes 12 1/4. I know you're thinking we work 12 by 12s. And I was going to teach you how to add to it, but for 1/4 inch, I don't know if I'm willing to just do that. Let's just see if I can get away with it being a 12-inch. These are 5, and we're adding 5. Got to add 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5. You know what? We're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to make it 5 and not do the quarter. So our paper is now going to become 12. Because it's the 5 plus the 1. Please forgive me on this. Follow me. 5 plus 1 equals 6. And then this 3 and this 3 gets us to 12. We will stay with the 1/4 inch this way. So 1 and 1 is 2, plus that is half is 2 1/2, 3. So the same thing, we got to add 3 and 3 is 6. So we started with 3 1/4. We add that 1 automatically to get us to 4 1/4. And now we have to add 6. So it's going to get us to 10 1/4. So we need a piece of paper 12 by 10 1/4. So I'm just going to cut off the 10 1/4 inch. And there we have it. And now we need a scoreboard and our scoring tool. I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers that I got from Tuesday Morning the other day. And this is the way it works. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch. That's as easy as it is. So you add a 1/2 inch, and you add another whole inch. So let's start. Score on the 1/2 inch line, and then add 1 inch to that. So that's going to get us to the 1 1/2 mark. Then we add a 1/2 inch, so that gets us to the 2 inch mark. And then we add another inch, that gets us to 3 inches. And that's where we score. Then we're just going to rotate the paper, and we're doing the same exact thing. 1/2 inch, so score on the 1/2 inch. Add 1 inch, so that gets us to the 1 1/2 inch mark. Add that 1/2 inch, gets us to the 2. And now add another whole inch, that gets us to the 3. Turn your paper. Let's do this side. 1/2 inch, add 1 inch, so that gets us to the 1 1/2. Add a 1/2 inch, so that gets us to the 2. Add another whole inch, so that gets us to the 3. I know it's repetitious, but do the 1/2 inch, add 1 inch, so that gets us to the 1 1/2. Do the 1/2 inch, that gets us to 2. And now the whole inch gets us to 3. And if you measure the inside of this square, it will be the correct measurement. Now this template's going to be linked below. You can print this out as many times as you want. This here will be blank based on, there will be no measurements in here. That's why this is a template. You can change these measurements up any way you want based on the size of the box that you need. So basically, we're cutting out everything except for one tab. Getting rid of everything except for one tab. Sorry. One tab on all 4 corners. So this is what I'm going to do. I need to leave this here square. You can cut it out any way that you would like. Just leave me that tab. Now, as soon as that tab is cut out, we're going to actually make it a tab. See that? I need to create a tab. Same thing. Leave that tab. I left that square. But now I need to just square it off. And I'm cutting out just a diagonal to make that tab. Now I'm going to take that piece of paper and I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. I want to leave that square and I want to leave that square. If you like making boxes, you're going to love this box. It's really not as intimidating as this looks. It's actually very, very simple. And once you get the hang of it, you'll be like, oh, really? No big deal. But I do like to have my templates on hand because, you know, you forget how you make your boxes. So I have a box of templates. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking of this. And if there's any way that I can change things and make things easier for you guys, give me a shout out. Alright, look at that. How stinking easy was that? I don't need any of these, so I'm going to get rid of them. Ta-da! Okay. That's where we have just a little measuring. We're just going to go down the first two boxes. And I need to make a 1/2 inch mark on just the two boxes. So just want to measure. Okay. Make sure I know where my 1/2 inch is. I'm using my Tim Holtz ruler, which makes it very easy to do. So I'm just making a 1/2 inch mark, and we're going to cut that out. Cut straight, and then cut in. Alright. I'd like my littlest scissors, which I don't know what I did with either. Oh well, what am I going to do? Just like that. I want that to be a little neater. Same thing on this side. Straight down and straight in. Just like that. And on the ends, just do that little diagonal cut. Just like that. Now we're going to turn it around, opposite ends, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mark in a 1/2 inch on just those two. And we're going to cut them out. I'm not getting that corner because I hate going too far on a cut. Don't you hate that? And by trying to keep me in the camera, I'm not going as far as I usually would. Alright, so now, oh, I didn't do that. Who just caught me? I gotta just trim the diagonals on this. Ta-da! Alright, now we're gonna fold and burnish all of our marks, our score marks. Hope everybody's having a good day. It actually is, I think it hit like almost 70 today. Today is, what is today? Today's April 7th. Yay! Alright, almost done. Now don't forget to do those 4 tabs too. Give them each a little burnish. Fold, crease, stamp it down. Ta-da! Alright, now you can use, well, I suggest glue on this. You could use your score tape, but when you use your score tape, you better be on the money. So we're going to add some glue right here to this section. And we're going to fold it over, and we're going to make it line up with this score line to create a box. You'll see. Once you fold it in, it's going to square off. And that's what makes the glue so easy. There you go. And if you're on that score mark, you can push that down. Ta-da! Now we're going to turn it around and we're going to do the opposite side. We're always working opposites. Do one side, then do the other. Ta-da! Loving this. Okay, fold it over. Very important to line it up like to that square, that score mark. Basically, the base touches the wall. Because that really, once you have that, you'll be square. Look, it's already coming together. Are you excited? Now, this becomes real simple. All right, so our tabs go in. We're going to glue our tabs. And this, you'll see the square take place. Glue your tabs. Glue just this corner. And then you have to glue this top piece. Okay? See where that is? And then what we do is we fold it in, fold it down, and once you get these 2 corners, you'll see it become a box. Look at that! Isn't that sweet? Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. Nice, right? Now we'll do the same thing to this side. We're going to fold the tabs in, and we're going to glue those tabs. Put glue on them. Then we're going to just do that little square here, right? Just like that. And then we're going to do the outside like that. See that? And then we're going to fold it. Keep it square. You're in charge of keeping it square. Okay, that's what makes the glue so easy. That's it. You keep it square. And what's great is if you get some art glitter glue on it, you know it dries clear. Look at that! You did it! You did it! Okay? Pretty cool, huh? Then take your product or whatever you want to put in it and just double check to make sure that it fits. Ah, love it! Love it, love it, love it. And I'm so glad we got to use a 12 by. Alright, now for the next part. This is our next part, which becomes the actual dividers that I created. Now, to do this, I had to measure out the widest part of the nail polishes. So I made a mountain. See how I did that? I had to do it this way. Almost like our mini albums, in a sense. It's almost designed just like that. And let's see if I could do the measurements. So it should be, that's a good idea. Let's do them because I did not have that. I did not have a template for that. So this is for scoring purposes. Half, half, 1 1/4, half, half, 1 1/4, half, half, 1 1/4, half, half, 1 1/4, and then a half and a half. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots for the 1 1/4s because we have 4 nail polishes going in. All right, so let's do the math. So 1, 2. This is 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inches. So they become 1 inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/4 for each. Get you a whole nother. So that becomes 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need a 10-inch piece of designer paper, and I think I'm going to make it as wide as the box this time, which will be, I'm going to make it 3 inches. 3 inches by, and what did I say it was? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I do that right? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. That equals 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need a 10 by 3 piece of paper. I'm going to pick out something decorative. I'll be right back. Now I am back with my piece of paper. So what did I say I was going to do? I was going to do 10 by 3. So I'm just going to cut off a 3 inch. This is actually a very pretty paper. By 10. And this is what we're going to do. I really should figure out my math off screen. But you know what? You'll be able to figure this out too. And you know what? This is where I'm not the greatest in math, but we'll do it together. So just remember this. This is going to be this is how I do it. Okay. The 1/2 inch parts are not going to be difficult. It's going to be when you have to add that 1 1/4. Oh, Lord help me. Okay, so 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Actually, would it be better if I did it on this side? Probably would, right? 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Now we have to add an 1 1/4, which for the first one's no big deal. So we're going to add 1, an 1 1/4 will get me to 2 1/4. Now, a 1/2 inch is going to get me to 2 3/4. And then another 1/2 inch is going to get me to 3 1/4. Then an 1 1/4 is going to get me to 4. No, it's not. An inch will get me to 4 1/4, should get me to 4 1/2. Did I do that right? Yes, let's do that. So, 1/2 inch. All right, yeah. All right, so an inch, 3 1/4 to 4 1/4 is 1 inch. Add another quarter gets me to 4 1/2. Then I'm going to add a 1/2 inch, which will get me to 5. Another 1/2 inch, which will get me to 5 1/2. And now we have to add an 1 1/4. So an inch would get me to 6 1/2. A 1/4 inch would get me to 6 3/4. And then we have to add a 1/2 inch, which would get me to 7 1/4. And another 1/2 inch, which will get me to 7 3/4. Now we have to add an 1 1/4. So a whole inch would get me to 8 3/4, and a 1/4 inch would get me to 9, and then 9 1/2. Whew, that wasn't so difficult. Now let's fold all of them. Okay. So how we do this is the first two get folded into each other, right? Then where the 1/4 inch is, let's see if I could zoom you in. All right. Can you see this? See it better there? Okay. Basically what we're doing is the 1/2 inch ones, we're just folding them in. And you'll be able to figure this out. Because once you see where we're at, you'll be like, yay! And the last one's going to go down. Alright, so basically what I was trying to do is bring them all up. Bring those mountains up. And you'll see how we accomplish that. I'm going to zoom you out. I'm going to get rid of the scoreboard. And I'm going to put you on pause. I'm sorry for that interruption, but it took so long I don't remember what I was saying. But do you see what we did? That's what we did. And once we do that, we bring our box back in. And look at how pretty that looks. So what I want to do is this. On each, let me just see something. Okay. On each one of the folds, just add a little glue and glue it down. Okay, I lost my good bone folder because I went outside. It's probably on a table behind me. But that happens, right? Add some glue. Fold it down. Add some glue. Fold it down. It's almost as if we're making mini albums. Actually, this paper that I'm using almost feels like wallpaper. It's got a texture to it. It's actually pretty neat. And there you have it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glue. And you don't have to go too crazy because you just want this to adhere. And then, since we didn't make it the full size, you have some, there you go. Ah, loving this. Loving it. My paper trimmer did not cut that very nicely, so I have a little, like, I have that white stuff. I'm not loving that. I'm gonna make that my bottom. Alright, so now, ready? Look at that. This is for the Wet n Wilds. How stinking cute. Now let's make the next part of it. Now for this part, after years of watching videos on how to make a sliding box, you can use the scoreboard for a few of the score marks, but not all of them. And let me explain to you why. Because there's that little extra that you need for the justification of the paper. So I'm just going to show you my easy way on how to solve that, so that when you're wrapping your box around it, right, you're not that snug, but you've got enough room to slide. Okay? So this is what I came up with. Remember, we're using the 6x12. We're going to put it on the 12 side. And this is what we're going to do. This was my template. And my template says, let's score this at 2 3/4. 2 3/4. And then 3 3/4. Now let's fold and burnish this. and I'll explain to you why. We're going to do it this way. Okay, see what we have so far? All right, now I want to bring our box in. Look at how awesome that fits, right? It's not too big, it's not too small, it's actually perfect. To get that now, you can't do it on a score mark, on a score. So I want you to do is take your pencil, and I just want you to put a little line, just like that. You see that line? Now I want you to line that up on your score mark, any score mark you want. Make sure you're snug at the top, and you'll be straight, okay? Or if you want to open up your paper and do it that way, you'll notice that it's not going to line up on a score mark. That's the tricky part. That's why we made the pencil mark. So let's put it on a mark, put it to the top, and let's score that. And whatever number you score that on, add 1 inch, because that's what our box is. So if we're at 6, which I just used, I'm going to make one at 7. Okay, just add 1 inch to whatever number you put it on your scoreboard. And watch this. Ready? Up. Saved by the bell. This has been one interruption after another. Okay, so now we're done. And this is going to be that final product, right? So what we're going to do is, okay, so this is what I'd like to do. Add some glue on this side and this side, and we will be fine. Ready? So wrap your box, line it up, now you can take your box out and give it a good rub. Now we're going to add a ribbon to this box. Actually, we're not going to add a ribbon until we decorate it and decide what colors we are going to use. Look at how cute that is. Look, I'm loving this. All right, let's figure out some paper patterns. Now that we are on to decorating this box, I'm like so excited to take it to this next level because I made you guys something. And what I did was I designed this cutout. Now you can fussy cut it, and I'm gonna link the file below. It will be in my Google Documents, so all you have to do is click on that link, go to my Google Documents, and you can have this. And these are the colors that they are, but you can just fussy cut them and work around the colors. So I made these in 2 different colors. I left this a kind of like neutral color, and then this is layering. You fussy cut this, then you cut this out. But now listen, for these 3, you can make these 3 anything you want, because all you have to do is trace this onto a different image, a different color, a different piece of paper, a piece of glitter paper. You can just trace this out, cut this out, trace it out, and then you can have it in any color you want. Because these are printed, you have to use these colors. But I'm including this so that you can do the same exact craft if you wanted to. Now let's take it to the next step. All right, now our box is finished, and it should be 4 by 6. So how I want to decorate this is I cut out a piece of gray in 5 3/4 by 4, and I think I want to get the corner chomp, and I want to make it scalloped. So I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers scallop punch. and I'm just gonna cut out the corners. Don't you just love that? I love that. So we're gonna do some layering on the box. So this is one. Then I decided to grab some glitter paper. Now, wait, I gotta find it. This glitter paper, isn't that gorgeous? This came from Dollar Tree. It's this glitter paper. This is glitter paper from the Dollar Tree. Now I had it, and I really fell in love with the color, and I wanted to use it today, right? But when I cut it out, I was like, wow, this is pretty strong paper. And then all of a sudden, I realized, didn't realize it when I bought it, it's adhesive back. It's a sticky one. It says adhesive. Never knew it. So that's going to be pretty cool because I don't have the glue. I'm also going to cut this out with my scallop corner punch. Just like that. And then look at how cute that's becoming, right? Then this was my thought process. I wanted this to go next, just like that. And then I wanted to bring in the nail polish. Now, this is not glitter, but what I thought I would do is I was going to bring either in my Winka Stella, or I'm thinking this really cool glitter glue which matches this. So I'm kind of got some options. So, and I also have I'm looking through my stuff. My stickles. So we have some ways to make this blingy if you decide to use the colors I gave you. So let's begin. I think I want this one to be up on dimensionals, but I'll do that after I attach this one. Obviously this one can't be on dimensionals because, I mean, it could be if, you know what? I'm not going to use the adhesive. I think I'm going to make it dimensional. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. Yepper. And I'm going to put them on 4 corners. And then I like to stick 1 or 2 in the middle so that it doesn't push down. Hey, you know what? I'm feeling generous today. Let's do all those. And then we'll pull off the sticky backs. I don't remember which ones I even did yet. Okay, I'm going to take that and we're going to just line it up so that there's a nice border around the entire thing. Yay! Loving this! And I honestly think that I want that up on dimensionals too. But I'm going to grab my art glitter glue and we're going to put this down. Okay. How come every time I go to use my art glitter glue it like says, Donna, I'm not going to let you play with me. I'm going to make you torture you. I'll make you work for it. I love the black, the gray, and the pink. I do. Love it. This is really pretty. I mean, look at that. Alright, so then what I'm thinking is, yeah, I think dimensionals too. I'm in dimensional mode again. Doesn't take much to get me dimensional happy. So throughout this video, I know you're going to hear different tones in my voice because one was in the morning, one was yesterday afternoon. One, like, this video took me forever to shoot because of interruptions. But that's okay. We're getting her done. I'm not going to put dimensional on this, but I'm going to do is, I'm gonna grab this. We'll put this part down first. Just like that. See that? All right. And then we'll put this one down. Honestly, a part of me wants to find like a heart or something, a sticker to put on the front of this. But I think that I want this up on a dimensional. Yes, I do. Put one there. I'll put one like that. And then I'll put one there. These are the dimensionals from the Dollar Tree, and honestly, these are a staple in my crafting. And I'm gonna, part of me wants to double them, but that's okay. Look at this! Just for you, but we're not done, because you're probably wondering, what about that keep calm thing, right? I'm gonna move this over for now, and I'm gonna show you what the next step is. So the keep calm thing, I decided, keep calm and paint your nails, right? So if you're giving this out, maybe you want to make a card. So I cut this out, and this is 6 by 5. And then I scored it at 3. Because we're making this a card. Now once you're done and you fussy cut either one out, whichever one you want, I don't know. I think I'll stick with that. Right? Look at that. Now, I'm not popping this up on dimensionals, and I'll explain to you why. Because I want this to go inside the box. And if it's going to go inside the box is, I didn't make the size of the box. That's even if I can. This is just a thought process. I want this to be able to go in, and as we slide it, it comes out. And then you can write your sentiment on the inside of it. Right? Happy birthday, thinking of you, happy Mother's Day. Ah! Oh my goodness, how awesome! Mother's Day gift. But now, we need to attach a ribbon. And I'm going to show you, we're going to change this too. So, let's pick out a ribbon that matches the glitter. And I think I see it. And of course, it's at the very, very top of this. These are the ribbons that I purchased at Tuesday morning a few weeks back. Part of me thinks, yeah, I think that one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for the deeper purple. Yeah, this was part of my Tuesday morning haul. My last one, I think it was. My last Tuesday morning haul. Now, we don't need much. We just need about that much, which is, let's see. You know what? Give yourself 4.5 inches. Ish. Whatever works for you. I'm going to stick this back in the bag, because I really love the way the colors look in this bag. Until the bag rips on me, right? I know, do I really need to do this right now while we're videotaping? No. And that's not happening, right? Alright, so we'll just move them over. And then we're going to take this and we're going to glue it together. Just like that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dab of glue right there. And I'm just going to go, and I'm going to hold it down for a few seconds. Ribbon takes a few more seconds to dry than normal paper does. Alright. So then, I'm I'm going to pop these out of here for a second. And then the part that we had the glue, I'm just going to make it so that the pretty part of the ribbon is on the top. And I'm going to hold my finger down. So the pretty color is this way, you see that? And the dull color is on the back. That's my crybaby dog. My crybaby dog got in trouble because he went across the property line to our neighbors, and now he's not allowed back out. Yep, not allowed back out. Gotta let that dry for just a few seconds. So as that dries, let's move on to that. Let's figure out what can I put on there? You know, I have tons of, oh, how about some bling? Oh, yes, let's grab bling. All right, so we went to the bling box, which wasn't hard to do. And our ribbon is kind of like a deep-ish, purplish, pinkish, but I'm thinking, oh, a pearl heart. Oh, alright, that will be last because I really want to glitter that. I decided to reprint the template, and I think I'll have a fun time piecing this whole thing together. But, now I'm just grabbing my Wink of Stella. So this is what I did. I gave you the cutouts that you can change the colors of them to anything you want, and I decided to do just a solid gray because I think that's what's going to go best with mine. And I decided to grab my Wink of Stella and bling it up. And the reason I like Wink of Stella better is that it is fast drying. And I haven't used it in so long that I'm kind of happy to break it out and mess with it. Sorry, Vinny and Shannon are home from grocery shopping, so you might hear them come in and you might hear dogs barking. And look at this. It gave it I mean, I could have cut a piece of glitter paper, but it just gave it some bling. There it is. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that back up on dimensionals like I did before. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some bling to it. And now, because I really want to get this video edited, just like that. Haha, right? And I want to put a heart on it. So I'm going to grab one of the hearts and I'm going to stick the heart, actually, yep, right smack in the middle. Just like that. But part of me wants to go over the black just a tad with the Wink of Stella. And it just gives it that little oomph. And I'll show it to you. I'm going to zoom in. Zoom in. Do you see that? Oh, wow. I'm so glad I zoomed you in. And just as I do it, look at that. How sweet! I don't know if I'm going to do the 4, but I'm definitely going to do the just. Just like that. Steady hand, patience, and there you have just the perfect amount of bling. Isn't that sweet? I mean, and look at this. I'll go back in and I'll give it some more. Loving that. How sweet. Do you see that? And it all complements each other. Alright, so final product. Right here. Just for you. Perfect for any girl, for any gift. Teenager. Let's hope that just didn't glue to each other because I was so... There it is. Ready? Ooh, keep calm and paint your nails. Write your sentiment. And then there's the nail polish. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. And I will see you all real soon. Bye.